Within the mountains, far from the hustle and bustle of the city, where the skies are clear, lies the town of Starview. Nearly a century ago, a wizard and their apprentice seeded the beginnings of Starview with the establishment of an observatory here on a plateau high in the mountains. But it was these same mountains that brought their end. For when the observatory burned down a few decades ago, they perished. But the town that sprouted up to support the construction of the observatory remains, now exporting the firestone crystals that they mine from the mountain. The town has grown steadily over time. Now there's a new hall, there's a general store and a post, a few inns, and even Burnt Eyes Bar and Grill on the edge of town. You have all been summoned to the town by a Bovian scholar by the name of Marvu Blackhoof. Marvu has been working on a prototype for a new type of telescope, which was recently stolen from their home. With the local guards unable to produce results, you have been called in to get to the bottom of it. And that brings us to now, the three of you, seated in a lush sitting room of Marvu's exorbitant manor. Would you like to introduce your characters and yourselves?
My name is Liz. I will be playing Konick Kindsmile. She is a Caldera Cronag. So Cronags are basically rock people, but they're explicitly not rock elementals. They come from the material plane and they just spontaneously form within various rock formations around the planet. I've gone with the Caldera heritage, essentially making Konick a walking volcano. So she is quite tall and quite bulky, being made of rocks, but her skin is a very sort of smooth obsidian broken up by these glowing veins of magma throughout. So she is a toymaker monk, and she's just here to have a good time, and if she needs to hit someone, she will. She's not looking forward to it.
And let's move on to T.
Hi, I'm T. Today I will be playing the character Zark. Zark is a hobgoblin postman, and he has the anti-magical background. So he does not like magic, and magic does not like him. And that's pretty much all you need to know for now.
Excellent.
I mean, there's some cool stuff from Sinclair's, but we'll talk about that when it comes up later.
Hi, I'm Tyler, and I'll be playing Anaxi Lodestone. She is a Minotaur Bovian Magus. So Bovians are straight out of Sinclair's library. They are a very kind and peaceful race of bovine people. So they resemble cows, yaks, that sort of thing. They live in large communities, and they have a pretty wild backstory, but they used to live in a really big nation before a blight took over their lands, and there was a fracturing where they couldn't decide what was the best course of action until a Bovian by the name of Asterion the Conqueror, as he's now known, tried to take lands forcibly to help the Bovians survive. And then that blight ended up fracturing the community, and now they live all over the place in the mountains, in the forest. Anaxi is a Minotaur Bovian, which means she's descended from the Bovians that joined Asterion in that conquest. So unlike most Bovians, she's not quite as peaceful and kind. She's actually very stoic and has made a lot of her work and employ being a killer for hire. Also, she is a Goliath Stone Magus,
there it is.
Which is a new hybrid study from Sinclair's library, which basically focuses on the sling as a focus for your spell strikes. So that'll come up later.
Cool. And I'm Gianni. I will be GMing this session. And a big thank you off the bat for Sinclair's library and Tabletop Obscura in particular for providing this one shot for us to play. And we're really excited to play with some of the options that are coming in Sinclair's library. And we're probably just going to scratch the surface today because we have a quick turnaround. But
all of those playtest materials are available completely for free on the Sinclair's library website.
Stuff in there is cool as heck.
So,
So we're here in this.
The three of you are sitting in a sitting room, each with a cup of tea in front of you.
What was the guy's name?
So Marvu sits in an armchair, having already set out tea and biscuits for each of you. Marvu has this ox-like appearance with a large, well-built frame covered in frizzy brown hair. But despite his large frame filling the chair, you can't help but think he seems a bit smaller than he truly is. He looks a bit meek. His posture is radiating defeat and sadness.
Somewhat diminished spirit, if you will.
Exactly. His dressing gown is draped over his body a bit loosely like a tent.
He needs a hug.
What hour of the day is it?
It's probably late afternoon at this point. Yeah, it's tea time.
Dressing gown late afternoon.
Yeah.
Big mood.
Yeah. His home is a monument to a lifetime serving the rich and powerful, collections of fine art and beautiful glassworks covering most surfaces. He lets out a sigh after taking a sip of his cup and says, "Already cold." And puts it down on the table. And he makes eye contact with each of you, big, sad, large brown eyes under a fringe of frizzy hair. And he says, "Thank you all for responding to my letter. I certainly hope you can be of more use than the guards in this town. I am approaching desperation. I need to find the prototype of my stolen telescope before Calvinor, my investor, returns to town, or I'm afraid I'll lose all of my funding. You came highly recommended, and I just want my telescope back. I need to make sure I can have someone that I trust to get to the bottom of this. So if you don't mind me asking, what are your credentials in adventuring and helping folks solve problems?"
I think when you look over at Konick, just seeing how sad this guy, she's literally brimming with tears. She just wants to give him a hug.
Can literally squeeze tears from a stone.
You can squeeze tears from a stone, it very much turns out, particularly if you ask nicely. But yeah, I think she's kind of, wipes them away. An audible sizzling sound as... which I guess would leave like visible obsidian lines. Mm-hmm. And yeah, she kind of looks over and goes, I mean, this is my, maybe, I haven't really been counting, but maybe my 12th life, 8 of which have been an adventurer in some form. I've always wanted to just be an adventurer and help people. This is my first time learning martial arts, so I'm really excited. And I just, I want to find this. You're so sad, and I feel like I should give you a hug. But also, I've been told I'm very
qualified at all.
So when people,
please don't. I'm very flammable.
when people put down job postings with a hilariously overestimated amount of required experience, you're the person they're actually casting.
12 lifetimes.
Yeah.
I'm 30 years old with 400 years of experience.
My goodness.
Very good.
There's nothing I can't deliver. I've never failed a delivery, and if something gets lost in the post, we take that very seriously, don't we? So,
and I'm sure that'll become in very handy.
The postman's code is a higher power, and it must be obeyed. So,
I have been a mercenary for the last 12 years. I have 78 successful hunts on my, and I've heard about you, Marvu, of course, through the Bovian tracks. I'm very sorry to hear for the loss of your invention.
Yes, and I'm sure you appreciate the value of the work that we put into our glass blowing is
lens blowing particularly is a very difficult craft.
Yes, I didn't even know you could blow lenses until
no. I know when I heard about it, I was astounded.
Yes, it's a unique technique that I've just discovered actually. Very well, excellent. You all sound like very experienced professionals.
I promise you, we're the absolute best. And then I go to take a sip of my tea, and I disappear from the chair I'm sitting in and reappear 10 feet to the right in the exact same posture, and then fall on the floor.
Oh,
no, goodness. Sorry about that.
Do you need a hand?
No.
Should I ask, or is this a sensitive topic?
I'm having a little bit of a sort of a reality glitch problem. It's fine. It's under control.
Is it magical in nature?
Unfortunately.
And we'll find out more about that later. Since we're getting up, let me show you the workshop, and puts his cup of tea down and leads the three of you into their workshop. The workshop is a mess. It's a circular room with a domed ceiling. what was likely tool benches and stools set up with instruments around the room have been scattered all over the floor. Fragments of glass and metal crunch under your boots as you walk through, clearly not swept up in any capacity. And Mavu's hooves seem unaffected as he walks through. Curiously, what looks to be a jagged scorch mark zigzags up the wall and into the ceiling. And you can see that Mavu has tried to patch up the bottom where he can reach, but the top has been left untouched. As you can see, I haven't really had the heart to tidy up since the incident. I kept the telescope safe in this chest, and he opens up a chest under one of the workbenches, and clearly it's empty. Feel free to look around, and you can ask me any questions that you like.
Is it what are we talking, loam? What's the soft clay, your house? Do you need me to get a plasterer up here? What happened?
Oh, this?
Yes.
And pointing to the scorch mark, you can see that he seems to get a little bit withdrawn and embarrassed.
Oh, so it's not just a crack; it is actually scored.
Yeah, it looks like
a burn.
Yeah, it's been burnt up in a very geometric zigzag.
Split open.
No, sorry. No. Yeah, it's out of the ordinary, I suppose. But now that you're asking about it, he says, well. You see, I was very excited with my progress with the prototype, and I had this demonstration a few weeks ago to try and get some further interest in my work, but it was a mistake. The work was unfinished. I knew it was unfinished. I shouldn't have demoed it. You see, firestone crystals, they can be very dangerous if not treated delicately, and during the demonstration I bumped the telescope, and I must have destabilized the firestone crystals inside it, and combined with the high-quality lenses that I have crafted, it created a devastating magnifying effect, which you can see here. We spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to stabilize the firestone crystals in these mountains. Why would someone want to do
sorry. Oh, do you mean just in terms of firestone crystals in general? You didn't have a lab assistant or anything?
No. I mean, I have a fellow scientist in Calvinor, my investor.
Yes.
He's kind of like an angel investor in a lot of the town's businesses.
SMR?
Now that you mention, no, he half elf actually. He's a talented.
Wait, then how is he an angel then? He doesn't have weight.
I've made a terrible mistake.
I believe it was a sort of turn of phrase.
Can we please maintain some sense of professionalism? The more we dally here, the less time we have to find that telescope.
We're just getting the details right.
I don't want to be walking up to the wrong person and going, "Hi, are you Calvinor?" That would be very embarrassing.
Well, that won't happen. He's actually he had taken an interest in my work until the incident, of course, and then he said that it was too risky an investment, and so he wouldn't be able to continue that funding. But he has since left town on a business trip. But he promised that if I could have it fixed by the time he returns, then he would happily reinstate that funding. But as you can see, I'm a bit stuck. I need to get it fixed before he's back.
This explains your mood.
I can understand your sense of urgency, of course. Could you?
We have about 2 hours to get this back.
Yes, so we should really stick to that schedule.
Yes.
Was there anyone that was particularly, maybe a little too interested in the lens?
It's my life's work, and it's incredibly valuable if we can get this telescope to work. So someone may have just stolen it because they thought that they could profit from it instead. I've dedicated my life to perfection of these glass blowing techniques, and as for the telescope itself, it provides the clearest view of the stars that anyone has ever seen. But that's not all. Thanks to my breakthrough I've had with the firestone crystals in the mountain, it's why I decided to move here in the first place. You see, these firestone crystals, when they properly stabilize, you can magnify heat and light to remarkable levels. Most people use them for heating or lighting in their homes. That's why we export them. But I saw their potential. The telescope not only magnifies the cosmos, but it's able to project it to a nearby wall. It can fill a room and the opportunities here are incredible for teaching and education alone. To be able to see all of the stars around you is quite remarkable. So it's no wonder that someone might want it, if they wanted to develop it for themselves. But, that could all be for nothing.
We will find your telescope. I make you that promise.
Thank you.
Is there any leads or anything you might be able to point us in an initial direction?
Who was at this demonstration?
I cannot think of anyone who would want to wrong me in this town. I moved here purely just to do my work. But please feel free to look around.
Was Calvin present at the demonstration where the accident occurred?
Calvinor was there, as was the mayor, as was the captain of the guard, as was many of the noble,
most of the notable
townsfolk.
people in the town. Okay,
yes, if they were interested in the work, then they arrived. I don't think that's going to give us any specific leads.
And you mentioned the guard hasn't had any luck tracking down any culprits or leads.
So I assume you've gone through the official channels already?
I spoke to the captain about it, and he said that their resources and abilities are limited, and the majority of the investigations were done by his deputy. But their investigation into the matter said that the thief was likely long gone. After a couple of weeks, they haven't turned up anything.
We'll start by asking around town and see what we can discover. If we hear anything, we'll be sure to send word. I know a very good postman, so...
Yes, I also have... Look, I haven't.
I am sworn to carry your letters.
Oh, actually, while you're at it, can you just? I've got this one for my mother,
yes, of course.
and this one for my
yes,
brother.
Absolutely. I am still on the clock. Postman's job is never over.
Yeah. I will also just blatantly say the crime scene has not been touched.
Yeah,
so
I was
you're
going to
welcome
say,
to investigate.
could Konick have a look around while everyone's...
Yep, so you're investigating around.
That's a 17 on the die plus 10, so that's a 27.
Holy shit! Nice. All right.
She's not very bright, but she do be looking.
Excellent. You notice a couple of things as you're going around. The first thing is that only the telescope and the telescope parts were taken. So there are valuables, there's gold and beautiful things around that were just completely left untouched. So you can definitely rule out the fact that they were here for the telescope.
This wasn't an opportunistic smash and grab.
The second thing is that you notice a series of grubby boot prints as they as come through, and the glass has been disturbed a little bit on the ground, and you can actually make out the shape of some heavy boot prints.
She's sketching them.
Clean their prints
before they break and enter.
Leave nice clean boot prints.
Well, yeah, because all the other prints are hoof prints, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then, oh my god, you got a 20...
27.
27. Yeah, sorry. It keeps going. Okay. You find under the table,
just this enormous rock
that seems to have
just lifting the table.
Yeah, that seems to have just rolled underneath the table. You find a loose firestone geode, a whole geode as it's mined in its rawest form, which are not usually distributed around town. And you now have this. It is effectively a type of bomb. So you can write this down if you want.
Dibs. Absolutely.
Don't bring me anywhere near that.
The enormous magma person picks up this unstable.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe be careful with that. What does Barbara say when they see it?
They go, "Oh goodness, be very careful with that. That's very delicate. Do not drop that."
Unrefined.
Do you deal in unrefined firestone, Marvel?
No, I would never. We usually get it cleaned and make sure that's nice and clear, so it doesn't have any deformities.
So you did not obtain this yourself.
This is not mine. And I would never bring it near my equipment.
Why would someone
that out of my sling?
Unrefined.
I do think she. Yeah, I do think
maybe
that she has
the person not made of fire holds on to that.
I think that might be a really good idea. In fact, it's starting to glow. You might want to take it.
Why would someone? This clearly seems like an attempt at sabotage.
Potentially, it's worrying that they seem to have brought this in as. I can't imagine why they would bring it in other than as a weapon of some sort to try and if they expected to have run into some.
Why leave it behind?
What if it was meant to destroy the evidence and it just didn't go off?
She puts the table back down.
I have one more thing to give you from your perception check because it was a critical success. You find a curious thing that seemed to have also been dropped and not noticed as they've kind of clumsily crashed through the place.
The guards did not do a good job.
As
Really bad
you
job.
pick up as you pick up one of the stools, you find a matchbook. A small matchbook with a logo on the front of a flaming stake.
Couldn't imagine
burnt
where
eye.
that's from.
Couldn't
Wonder
be
where
there.
they got that from.
Yeah. Cool.
They went to the Burnt Steak Inn.
A clue.
A completely different
Well,
location.
Hey,
to
That's as
town.
close as a lead as we're going to get, so...
Yes.
I take a look at the burnt steak matchstick box and I go, well done.
Oh. Let's go!
Cool. So,
To the inn.
Where are you heading?
Was to the end.
Okay, sure. Yep.
I would like to kick the door in and make an intimidation check.
Okay, I love that.
Are we in?
So
Strong entrance.
let me set the scene.
I'm a literally
doing what you do.
a bounty hunter. Like
You're a massive Bovian bounty hunter.
It's like a bounty hunting, and you're two rather polite friends.
Just a weedy old man in a postman's outfit and a
giant-
And a rock.
You kick the door off its hinges, and then the two of you put the door back.
You hold it up and I just put the screws back in.
Okay,
I'm so sorry.
Just before, I'm happy if you do that chronologically, though. I will just give you an approach. The Burnt Eye Bar and Grill is located on the edge of town, on the road up to higher in the mountains and the old observatory site where it burnt down. It's early evening by the time that you arrive, and you see a large sign out the front showing the same logo that you've seen of a flaming stake. It's fairly dingy, and it's a fairly dingy and rundown looking building, but that doesn't seem to be disturbing people inside because you can hear music and voices kind of loudly chattering inside. And as you approach, you walk up and kick
the
that
door
door
in.
down. Yeah.
That's a 20 to intimidate.
Woo!
Or do you want the athletics to kick the door in?
Yeah, so 22 to intimidate, and then
Oh, awful. 15. No,
Would you like me to kick the door?
13.
13. Look, it's a pretty loose door. But I'll say
It's been kicked
I'll say
in
that
quite
like the
often.
first kick is like a bit of resistance, so you have to like awkwardly like kick it again. Just so that it
People like
slams
look
out.
up as the door hits and then they see it crash
Yeah.
open the second time.
My hooves are a weapon.
Yeah. But the second time is enough to slam it open, and it sends like a deafening boom, and the whole place seems like have a layer of dust kind of just like shake off it. You see the inside of the building is quite cluttered despite the lack of customers. There's plenty of tables and chairs sort of strewn about. There's obviously attempts to be a proper bistro inside, but there's faded menus. The soup of the day sandwich board is covered in a fine layer of dust. And the bar is packed with a lineup of rough-looking barflies that are sort of filling the stools. Among them, you see a young man in an officer's uniform as well. And as you sort of step in, the record player in the stop sort of like screeches to a halt. Everyone on the stools just kind of like turns to look at you.
Konick waves over
I'm
the
not
shoulder.
going to say nothing. It's the classic, like, bust in and then don't engage. Just so people are like,
There's kind of just like sizzling eye contact.
Konick just gives a polite wave.
stop in, walk up to the bartender and say, we're after some information.
The bartender puts down the mug that they're polishing.
Actually,
It's
I
the
would also-
cleanest
can I
mug
make
in the
that-
place.
Can I make a perception check to see if anyone's seems like particularly nervous or rattled?
Yeah. Could I join in on that one as well?
Yeah, sure. You can both give a
maybe
perception check.
I did the intimidation if you
Yeah.
want
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You
have a look.
You do the perception.
That's a 29.
You got better perception than I do anyway.
Konick is just scoping the room and literally just waving to everyone.
we roll
she makes
good,
eye
this
And
will
contact.
I'm
go
checking
quick.
the door's okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I can switch dice if you'd like.
No,
I've got
that's fine.
plenty.
So you do your sort of like sense motive to try and assess how everyone is feeling. Yeah. So I'll just give a quick description. So the people in the bar, there's the bartender, big burly, white singlet, seems to have just like these big mutton chops. There's kind of like this skinny thug in a leather jacket with an insignia on the back that says the Burnt Eye Boys on the back.
I love them.
And he kind of gives you like this kind of like toothless kind of snarl.
Wait, is it the full word or is it
sounds
the
like a
acronym?
butthole.
Which,
Now, yeah, is it the Burnt Eye Boys or is it the Burnt Eye Boys?
because my question is the acronym
undetermined.
BEBS?
Bebs. There's a woman with a shaved head and a scar on her right cheek.
Oh, she has a backstory.
And there's the young man that I mentioned with a slicked back blonde hair and a very unimpressive peach fuzz sort of mustache that he's trying to
The
grow.
officer.
Yeah, that's the officer. Yeah. And so you with your perception check, you determine that the thugs and the bartender mainly just seem like kind of disapproving of you guys just generally, like they don't seem to be very friendly of outsiders. But you do notice that the officer seems to be taken aback for a moment and kind of like assesses what you look like before sort of like turning back to his drink. Yeah.
Get to the bar, say like we're after some information, and just do the like slow turn.
I think Konick like whispers to you that like the guard is definitely the most nervous person in the room.
Yeah. And the bartender kind of like puts down and
Officer.
the bartender puts their glass down and says, outsiders ain't welcome in these parts.
Oh, well, that's not
I'll
very
be
nice.
welcome anywhere I invite myself.
Well, I don't know if that's going to turn out well for your friend.
You ever heard
you
of
see
the
they
phrase?
start to kind of like sit up on their seats and step off their...
I reach
Well-
for my sling like it's a gun.
I say, whoa now, let's calm down. You know what they say about shooting the messenger, and I tip my postman hat.
I hate it. Let's get them, boys. You see the thugs at the bar like scull the rest of their drinks and then hold the bottles in their hand and they all step out.
Oh, yeah.
Ready for a brawl.
I actually sit down at the bar and I go, one ale, please. And then while I'm sitting there, I just blink and then I'm like 10 feet away on a different stool at the end of the bar and I'm like, sorry, over here.
Darn hell!
Sorry, over here. Apologies.
So, a volcano,
And they engage in a brawl.
a volcano,
I see.
a minotaur, and a randomly teleporting postie walk into a bar.
Yes, exactly.
But
Can I start on the other side of the people because I did do this?
Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
cool.
You did the bit.
Yeah.
So we're going to kick us off with Konick.
yay! So how close am I?
So
to
it's a
them?
very intimate room, and to be honest, I'm not going to worry too much about like specific positioning and things like that. It's a barroom brawl.
Oh, I just meant more like, am I going to need to move, or am I like good to swing?
Yeah, move just to engage in the first place.
Cool. First thing I'm going to do is move up to the nearest person.
Yep, that'll be Toothless. The Toothless. Yeah.
Oh, poor Toothless. And then I'm going to spend an action to inner fire. So for the next minute, I deal an additional 1 fire damage per weapon damage die on unarmed strikes until the end of the next turn. Sorry, that's right. Sorry, it's once per minute. Sorry, that's on me. And until the end of the next turn.
And is that a Cronag?
That's a Cronag. That's a Caldera Cronag
That's
specific
Sinclair's
ability.
original.
That's a Sinclair's original.
Yeah.
So essentially, she calmly walks up, and then you hear a cracking noise as her face literally splits into a frown, and then she catches fire.
Oh, awesome. Great.
And
Very
then
good you're
I'm
not
going
holding
to,
the geo.
Goodness me.
and then I am going to.
Imagine you're just like,
detonates.
you still got that geode? Great, it explodes. You take
Are you
40,000.
Legit,
still
I
holding the
probably would
geode?
have done that.
Yeah.
I am. Well, you're not anymore. Good news and bad news.
And then I will flurry of blows with my last action. So that's a nice 2 unarmed strikes.
Yep.
A 17 and a 19.
Neg 4,
sorry,
'cause your
neg
fists
4.
are
So
agile.
it'd be a 15, not a 14.
Just not.
Yeah, that's fine. 9 points of damage plus the 2 for the fire.
Ooh, okay. So 11 total. Your fist comes like cracking in, and if he had teeth, they would be flying out of
It is
his face.
such a shame that all he's getting is 3rd-degree burns.
But he just like smashes and he stumbles backwards and looks up with you with like a scorched side of his face. You're gonna pay for that.
If he had teeth, he'd lose them.
The bartender steps out, and he, having seen you like engage in this, he just shouts, "Oi!" Which is an ability called Oi! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark!
Fantastic.
And I can attempt to demoralize a creature within 30 feet.
It's me, isn't it?
For each conscious ally of first level or lower the Bar and Brute has, they may target an additional creature within the range, comparing the demoralize check against each of
So
their
it's everyone.
You're going to
So because he's got a bunch of thugs behind him, he's going to
Successful oi.
Oi. Hello.
And that's pretty good. That's 25
Against the will
compared against
DC?
your will DC.
So it's 10
Will
plus will.
succeed.
10 plus.
Yeah.
Will frighten one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That'll do it.
So you all fail?
Yeah.
Yep. So each of you will be frightened one. So he'll step up and he will swing at you with a baseball bat that he picked out from below the bar.
Baseball.
It's a club, but I'm like, make it a baseball bat. There's always a baseball bat at the bar.
Of course.
And that will be that's a
Oh my goodness.
30 total.
That will crit.
That'll be a critical hit. Holy shit. We're up to a cracker of a start. So that'll be, that's max damage. That's
Well, it is called TPK, everybody.
so,
The dice
welcome to
are
TPK.
hot today.
So that is 12 times 2. So that's
moly.
that's 24 damage straight off the bat. And he just like slaps you with this club.
over half my health.
That's
I got potions.
We don't like that.
Which brings us to Zark.
It is
So
in
you
this-
you have appeared on the other side of the thugs at the
Okay,
bar.
I'm going to reach into my satchel and I'm going to pull out, as my hands come out, you're going to see wrapped around my forearms are these chains. And then as I pull my hands out, at the end of these chains that are now dangling below my hands are these two, like, extremely large letter openers.
God damn
Nice.
it.
And
a
Zark,
living.
Zark the postman is wielding dual striking, +1 striking chained blades, which are a new weapon as part
Sinclair's
of
original.
Sinclair's original.
And they are effectively swords on chains you can throw if you like.
Yeah, they don't have to be letter openers.
They don't.
if you choose in your games, but they can be. It's an option.
They could be any other public official themed sort of blade.
And it has to be public official theme.
And then I'm going to, I'm going to look back at the bartender who has just taken a huge swipe at my fellow compatriot here. You're not.
You're not. You're visibly not
I
fine.
can see that number. You're not. And I'm going to shout, assaulting a public official is a violation of the law. And then I'm going to...
You just can't help but play a bureaucrat as a character.
I just love you. I mean, they gotta... It's a thankless job, okay?
Sure, okay.
Someone needs to represent them. And I'm going to intimidate them.
Okay.
So,
Yep.
with my, like, stern warning. -1.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's no good. That's no bueno. That is...
You're trying to beat an 18.
Yeah, that ain't it. No.
Oh, no.
So that doesn't work.
He just turns around and goes, "What'd you say?"
No, I'm just going to throw a chain blade.
Stick to the basics.
How far away is he?
Probably like 15 feet.
Well, okay, he's actually out of range. So I'm going to chuck a chained blade at whoever's closest to me. Probably
'Cause
the
you can
brawler.
throw them?
Yeah, because I can throw them.
Ding.
Oh.
Yeah, so probably at the back, if Toothless was at the front, would be Scarface.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I throw a letter opener at his back.
Her back.
Her back, sorry.
You got a hero.
+7, so it's only 10 total. I rolled a 3, everybody.
No.
But that's okay, because I don't have to succeed to use my ability, which is I have taken... So Zark is just a regular fighter as far as class goes, but I've taken, instead of my 2nd and 4th level fighter feats, I have taken the Blink Strider and Blink Striker dedication from Sinclair's.
Sinclair's original.
Yeah. Blink Strider at 2nd level gives you the ability to teleport, and phase out of dimension and teleport 10 feet. To recharge it, you have to physically move through the real world some amount in order to do it again. There's no limit on the amount of times you can cast it, if you will. It's just a way you move. But you just can't do it back to back.
Specifically, you have to take a move-traded action.
Unless you take the Blink Striker dedication at 4th level, which is it's a custom rule where you can take 2 dedications because they're kind of one dedication sort of together. which means that instead of moving, I can recharge that ability using the attack action. So provided I make a hit, I don't have to succeed, but provided I take an attack action, it recharges.
However, every time you use your blink ability, you have to succeed at a DC 5 flat check or fall prone.
Yep.
That is amazing.
So I can just hop around the place, and I just combine that with anti-magical to be like, he's just kind of a little out of touch with reality.
Yeah, great. I love that. Okay, cool.
So that's my useless turnover.
Look, it was fun. We learned a lot.
So where did you move?
I didn't go anywhere. I stood up, I got my weapons out, attempted to intimidate, and then threw a blade, and it bounced off someone's back.
Yep.
Nice.
So it's time
Zark
for
to the rescue.
the barfly, the thugs, and the deputy to go. Which I'll just call them all thugs for the sake of being specific.
Yeah.
So the first one, Toothless, after getting slammed by you, he is going to pull up his bottle and try and shatter it on top of your head. So this is a double action, a 2-action activity called Shatter Bottle, which I can roll to make a 13.
No, I have a 22 AC.
Cool.
Jesus.
So that's a failure.
Nobody touch him? Yes.
Yeah, just a failure. Yeah. However,
bounces off my dome.
the Shatter Bottle ability, on a failure or success, so he got a failure, the barroom thug gets 1 degree of success better on the strike, so he hits.
Cool.
He gets a success, after which the bottle is broken and it can still be used as an improvised weapon. So even though it failed, it still smashes on your head, but now the bottle is
It's a glancing
broken.
blow, but
Yeah.
it does break and do damage.
Yeah. Which means that you're going to take a whole 3 damage as the bottle smashes on your head.
Do you need healing?
Yeah.
Can I get you anything?
And then after the bottle, a fist is going to come up for an uppercut underneath you, which is agile, so that will be a -4, so that's 12 total. No, definitely.
It's one of those.
I think it thuds into her stomach, and she's just
he does like
It's one of those.
looks up at you, and then the Scarface is going to turn around and look at you and go, "You shouldn't have tried that." And she charges
I'm
at
well aware.
you. And she's going to try and shatter her bottle on you, which will be a 20.
That will just not do it.
Cool, so that upgrades
That will do it, yep.
just a success though, which is good. And so that'll smash on your head, 7 bludgeoning damage, as she comes and smashes it on top of you. And that'll be her turn. And then the deputy will.
I see letterboxes.
He's kind of caught in the middle. So I think he's probably going to go for your 1, 2, 3, your 4, 5, 6. You.
Yep.
So the deputy will team up, and he will run around behind you to flank you with a move action.
Sure thing.
So you are flat-footed to his strikes, and that will be a 12 to hit with a fist. So that's 20 total.
How much does flat foot remove
It's a
again?
-2 off your AC.
In which case, that will hit.
Just hit,
hit.
just because of the flanking.
Just because of the flanking.
I actually forgot, because I have bravery, my frightened condition is always 1 less than it should be.
Oh yeah, you're all frightened as well. That's
So
something to remember.
I actually don't have frightened because of bravery.
There you go.
Frightened 1 gets reduced to frightened 0.
That's very good. That's a fighter thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is third level.
Classic. So that's 6 damage for you.
Cool. All right,
Liz.
down to 49.
And I'll say, he's probably just going to punch you again because it's all he's really got. He hasn't got a bottle.
This is not very nice behavior.
Which is okay. That's better. That's a 22 to hit. Which
Yeah,
I think
that'll
is a hit. Yeah. And then that's going to be 4 damage total. Dread. Yes, Anaxi. Yeah.
Written you off for dead already.
Turn to the bartender and say,
Yeah.
"Good hit. My turn." And I reach back and pull out my giant glass maul.
Oh God! He looks at his baseball bat in comparison.
And I am going to spell strike him right in the face. I'm using Produce Flame. So that's my maul attack, which will be a +10. 22.
22. That's a hit. What does this look like in your glass maul? Does your maul become flaming, or is it like what?
Yeah. So like a surge of arcane energy goes up the maul, and the
like
maul
inside the glass.
so there's a glass core to the maul, and then the top just starts to glow, heated from the inside. That's all right. I'll roll it twice. 6, 2, 4 is 12 damage.
12 damage.
And only takes persistent on a critical.
Yep, cool. So yeah, your maul comes and slams them, and he hits back against the bar with just like a oof as your maul comes and crushes into him. Back to Konick.
I think Konick looks from old Toothless to the guard and goes, "That's not very polite." And I will use an action to go into my mountain stance. So I like to
your AC even more.
actually, it doesn't, because it removes anything you get from Dex and then gives you a flat +4. So my AC actually remains the same because I have really high Dex.
The floor under your feet just goes
Crack,
as you just connect to the earth.
And I'm going to spend a focus point, and I will key strike this falling stone strike. I also have elemental fist, so I will be adding, I think, lightning damage to this. So yeah, I'll do 1 attack to Toothless and 1 attack to the guard, so essentially just cracking them both in the skull.
Yeah,
so we'll do,
okay, so who are you doing first?
I'll do
Because this will be
Toothless
your better
first.
strike.
Yeah.
Toothless.
So that's a 16 plus 11.
Oh,
27.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
And the second one, that's a natural 20 on the die.
Nice, Liz.
Okay, so it sounds like it'll be crits on both. So roll your damage for Toothless first.
Fantastic. And this is 2d8 instead of... so could I...
He kicked the door down.
may I have borrow a d8 for a moment? Yep, so that's 7 on the die, plus 4 is 11, so...
and double everything.
Got it.
22.
Plus the... because on this round, my eruption ends, but I still deal that additional
plus
2,
4.
so it's 26.
26 damage.
Yep.
Lightning?
Plus the additional 1, which is good and lightning. So, well, yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Is that +2 then doubled again? Because that's 30 total.
Okay, so your fist comes and cracks into Toothless's...
Just downwards onto the
Okay.
top of his skull.
Sure. So there's just a freeze frame as like a thunderclap just exits through the entire
Everyone's
bar
vision just
room.
goes-
All the glasses shake, and then you just see him just like freeze for a second, and then he's just into the ground. Like he just craters entirely onto the ground, and is just knocked unconscious into oblivion.
Yes, I was about to say yes,
yeah.
because it does. Yes, all of my attacks have the non-lethal trait.
Yeah, I'm happy for all of your attacks to be non-lethal, considering this is a barber.
Yeah, my non-lethal thrown letter opener sword.
Yeah, so I'm just going to hand wave non-lethal stuff.
I can throw them
Lightning
blunt end first.
Yeah.
My non-lethal lightning
the thug is just like collapsed onto the ground, little birds around his head. And then let's do the guard on the other side.
That's 8 plus 4.
10, 12, plus...
Yeah, 10 plus 2, 12 plus the 2 plus the 1.
That's 15.
15, so another 30.
There you go.
Power gaming is a slippery slope.
I didn't do it on purpose. I was trying to make her really roleplay focused.
How dare you
and
roll
it
a
just
natural
kind
20? And so your other fist comes and just like knocks the guard behind you, and he just flies back, hits a wall, and then just like slumps against the wall as a result.
Zark is just stunned.
and then I would like to use my third action to demoralize the bartender.
You would. Yeah.
I just feel like it just feels right.
You're on a roll, sure, why not?
That's 17 plus 4. Minus my frightened is just a 20.
Yeah, okay, that still works. So I think, just seeing this display, as everyone's watching you just crack these two, and you just like look to the bartender, do you say anything, or are you just glaring him down?
Not very nice indeed.
Yeah. You see him like shrink a little bit below your stance. Yeah. The bartender is going to kind of get a renewed kind of like and like turns to slap against you here with his tiny baseball bat, and he's just that's a natural one. And so he's just kind of like, and I think like as a result of that,
I just literally like shift them all this much.
Yeah, he just goes tink.
as a result, he just drops his baseball bat and he just like takes a step back.
I'm going to grapple him.
Okay. Hold on to that for your turn. So we'll effectively skip the rest of the brute's turn and Zark.
So who? So there's nobody left.
Scar.
There's
Scar.
Scarface, yeah. So the one that was fighting you, the woman.
Well, first things first, I'm going to pull my sword back in. Because I think it's an interact to like...
Yeah,
you have to reel it in, sure.
So that's one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a strike against the Scar.
Yeah, with your little shiv.
Yeah, with my letter opener, which is a full-size sword.
So it's worse than a ship.
Worse than a shiv.
And that is a 25.
You're no longer frightened.
I never was.
That was
25 is a hit.
Okay, cool. That is going to be 2d6 plus 4. That is 11 damage.
11 damage. Woo.
Yep. And then I am going to blink 15 feet back because I think Blink's standard distance is 10 feet. But every 2 Blink Strider / Striker feats, you get another 5. So because I now have 2 feats, it can be 15 feet total. So I'm going to blink back 15 feet.
Yep, great.
To just further back into the bar.
So she's left like kind of just as you then blink back, and then that brings it to her turn. But seeing that she is the only fighter left in the fight, and seeing that the bartender has sort of stood down, she's just going to drop her broken bottle and just kind of submit as well.
I'm just going to start reeling.
Leaving it to be your turn, so I will let you clean up this fight however you want to clean it up.
great.
Tyler.
I'm going to grapple the bartender for a 27.
27 is 100%. It is not a crit though.
Damn. That's fine. And yeah, I'm just there. It is obvious to me that you know something. You'll be answering our questions now.
Oh,
You should also consider changing the name of your venue. It sounds like a butthole joke.
Holy shit.
all the folks kind of look at each other and, oh my god.
Hey, don't yuck anybody's yum. I'm actually going to reel in my chain blades and stow them and then walk over to Scar and just put a hand out and be like, I think we should probably start from scratch.
You stabbed me.
And you tried to stab me. In fact, you hit me over the head with a bottle.
Yeah, fair play.
Yeah.
I think Konick is trying to gently slap awake
Well,
the
I'll
two
put the-
people that she
put the
knocked.
bartender down.
Yeah.
I just say,
He
Zark,
graciously. Scarface.
Scarface, nice to meet you.
So yeah, you clean up. They kind of brush themselves up. We'll give a minute for the other two to kind of.
Yeah, she helps them up and goes, it was a very nice fight. I had a really good time.
Oh, shut it.
If you want to treat that burn, generally any
I'm gonna drink
skin
a
softening
potion.
ointment will work. If you do have a cleric in this town, they should be able to do something about it. I'm very sorry. It does work for you,
I'll just
though.
take a whiskey.
We found a matchbook at the scene of a robbery that matches your this location. Do you know anything about anyone who's come here, passed through here, or might have been involved in a robbery at the observatory, at Marvu's workshop?
Confess to your crimes.
And are you addressing the bartender for this? Anyone in
I think we've rounded them up.
We've probably,
you just kind of.
Let's round them up.
just the gallery.
Sit them at a
Even
table.
the deputy?
Especially the deputy. He's
everyone
so
there.
nervous.
Is this what counts for
Do
lawfulness?
any of you know anything about this robbery?
The others
I'll
are
make
kind
it
of
an
like-
intimidation. if
Yeah,
you
sure.
want.
Yeah.
It's probably not going to do it. 16.
It cracks the thugs and the deputy, not the bartender.
Bartender
I've already
seems some shit.
scared the shit out of you.
Yeah, exactly.
The bartender is rightly already afraid.
you can see the others are kind of looking a bit begrudging, but the deputy seems to be a little bit nervous. You can tell, and so when you kind of tower over him, he's kind of like, "Look, man, he paid us off to do it. I didn't steal anything. They did," and he kind of gestures at the others.
You work for the guard, do you not?
I do, but I don't make enough money at the guard, man. I can't live off the wage that I get from being a deputy in this small town.
Did I ask?
No, sir, you didn't.
I was going to.
Look.
Also-
I just had to. I didn't do anything. I just had to look the other way. Okay. Please. I needed the money. The captain pays me shit all.
That's fine. We just want to know who did it. Who did you look the other way for?
Well, they all kind of share a look.
I mean, they've talked about an angel investor who will just give money to people. Was it Calvinor?
It was Calvinor. Yeah. He kept going on about how long he'd been waiting and how everything was going to change once he had it. I don't know what he's talking about. He was just spouting sciencey mumbo jumbo. I don't know. I just.
That's a bad patron if I ever saw one.
It's a bad scientist for a start.
It's a really bad angel.
All right. I know.
She has grown.
I know.
She has an intelligence of 8.
Okay. Just a.
But he's clearly not trying, though, is
asshole.
he? He's not trying.
No, that's true.
Where is Calvinor now?
He's up at the observatory.
The old burned down observatory up the hill?
Yeah, he's had it blocked off and hasn't been letting anyone in because it was dangerous. But he's secretly been working up there.
They took the telescope to the observatory
From
after a theft.
Well, to be fair,
do you have a point?
No one in the town goes up there.
You know the saying, it's in the last place you'd think to look, right?
I wouldn't look
That's
in
probably the first place, like a telescope in an observatory.
Did you think to look there?
Touche. Touche.
In Zark's defense, I didn't think about it either.
Well, that's the thing. Like, no one goes up
Konick.
to the observatory because it's just
Did
a
you
wreckage.
lot
It's just
perform the robbery, or was the rest of the guard involved?
There were lots of feet.
no other guard were involved. I mean, like the
I have a message for you to deliver.
Who broke into the house?
It was and Toothless puts his hand up. And some of the other guys.
You have very dainty feet.
What do you both know about this? And I point to the geode.
Oh, that's mine.
Did Calvin give this to you? Calvinor did give this to you.
Yeah, I mean, he's been giving us stuff to kind of, if we get into any rough patches, can deal with people, fist and punch-ups and everything.
Yes, exploding people is a very
was it left in the
effective
house?
method of dealing with them.
Yeah, were you trying to kill...
We weren't. No, we weren't trying to kill anyone. He just told us to go in, get the telescope parts, get out, and if anyone gave us trouble, then we had contingencies.
You just had a giant bomb in case you needed to make a non-lethal escape.
We need a contingency in case anyone followed us or anything.
Well, a bit of paper, start writing that.
I mean, the captain tried to distract Marvu, and then the deputy's like,
Captain
Care to repeat that?
of the guard?
yeah, well, he threw a dinner party so that Marvu would be out of the house.
Who do we report these thugs to if the whole guard is corrupt?
Oh, we can go to the.
I suppose I could make them report to Tharasma.
I mean,
Straight to the top.
that's an extreme example.
The highest escalation we can get.
That is a swift escalation.
They will be a remote posting of the centralized guards constabulary. We can deal with them when we get back. We can make a report when we get back to town, proper town, not this backwater.
We're going to silently
I
walk
think
out
it's
the
quite
back.
nice.
They'll be
Quaint, but
out the back, and I'm going to come back and tie them.
Yeah, that's
Everyone gets a chair.
They don't
tied
resist.
to their chair and then tied around the chair.
Everyone, everyone gets a chair. No one misses out today.
And if any of you so much as move, I'll open you like a new board game on Christmas.
Oh my!
With my letter knife.
I mean, that's violent even for me.
Is that necessary? Zark?
what if I need to piss?
Piss.
Konick gives them bottles.
The top side of the broken bottle that's fallen on the floor, I just kick it across the slides under his chair. I go, there you go.
All right, and you wrap up your business.
Starts giving them empty bottles.
You
to
wrap
pee
up your
into.
business in the bar room.
Thugs being thugs is one thing, but the people who supposedly purport to uphold the law, that I cannot forgive.
Yes, you don't like it when people break bureaucracy. We understand.
All right, so are you heading where?
Straight up to the
Observatory.
Observatory.
Cool. Yeah, so you walk up through the mountain pass. It's quite picturesque up here. It's quite peaceful. You can see evidence of the quarries and mining operations that have happened in some of the mountain in the distance.
It's trails like this that make the job worth it,
Yeah.
You really get to commune with nature.
And eventually you start to come across some Eventually, you start to come across some signage, like, sort of caution tape across the path, being like dangerous, unstable, like do not proceed.
Kick 'em over.
Like,
Yep, it's trails just like these.
And each time that they get like more demanding, like, no, seriously, turn back, like, please.
Hey, I know the last one didn't seem all that serious. I just need you to know I'm really being serious here. You gotta turn around.
I'm starting to run out of pain.
And eventually,
I'm going to drink that other potion.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Oh no.
You're looking a little rough there. I got a spare healing juice if you need one.
I'm fine.
I mean, I have.
keep
an
saying
extra
that?
one.
Okay. Yeah,
You're actively bleeding.
like a big, like, bloody gash to the face.
Pride cometh, all right? Like, if you need healing, take healing.
A little woozy. I've drunk 3 of these so far.
That's my healing potion, guy.
1
Cool.
hit point.
I've got 2 for emergencies.
And eventually, you reach a plateau. The burnt-down observatory once stood tall as a beacon of knowledge and discovery. Now, all that remains is a smouldering circular shell of its former glory. The walls are blackened and charred, and you can see from the outside that the roof has caved in, leaving light to spill in from the stars above. You see, as you approach from the outside, that there is a dull red glow from inside the observatory.
I don't like the look of that at all.
Would you like to?
I would like to make a perception check to see if there appears to be any way to climb up a side of it. Maybe there's some, like, decayed wall or something that I can get an advantage point to, like, peek in it.
Yeah, sure. I think like the outside, like there's like paneling that has kind of like peeled off and structural bits that have warped in the heat and the flame. So there's definitely stuff you can climb up. It will be a bit treacherous because it's unstable and looks like pretty like loose, but there is climbable scaffolding.
Is there a front door?
Yeah, there is a front door. Yes.
Actually, hang on.
But you can see the front door kind of has like a big like board on the front that says caution scribbled hastily on it.
I have an invisibility potion.
That would be way better.
So I was going to say maybe we go with a stealthy approach. Somebody creeps up the side to get a vantage point. I could probably get in position on the ground floor given I'm very unlikely to be observed.
I'll wait by the front door.
You can run in and hit things.
You want a chance at redemption of kicking in the front door?
Yeah, you really want to get it in one go.
I'm going to just make sure the latch is just a little loose.
Yeah, we can take
If you've got time to get to the door.
I'll loosen the latch.
Yeah, I mean, we could take the hinges off so that
I'm
it
going
just.
to wait by the front door and I'm going to poison a rock.
Yeah.
I'm going to chug my invisibility potion, so it's a 2nd level invisibility spell, effectively.
Poisoning a rock.
That's it. It's like,
So what are you
salt baying this rock with poison salt?
Yep. Okay. So the walls are probably let's just call the path up to be about like 25 feet. So it's like a decent couple of rounds of climbing.
Athletics?
Of climbing. You're going to need to make a series of climb checks and not fail. Essentially. Your scaffolding, it's a bit rough, so I'll say it's probably DC 18.
18 DC. Okay.
Cool,
Well,
just
I have a plus 12 athletics, so let's
6
not
or higher on the die.
Let's not whiff.
Yeah.
Okay. First one's a success. That's a 24.
Cool.
Keep going.
Yep. 5 foot up.
The second one is a crit success.
Move up 10 feet.
Okay, cool.
10 feet to get to the edge.
That's
With
a success.
18, that is a success. And that is also another success.
Okay,
19, just.
Okay. Yeah. So you managed to kind of like.
Fighters, good at athletics. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna sneeze.
Oh no.
Everyone hold.
Gross.
We're good.
Yeah, Zark like stops, like disturbs some dust and goes,
But like invisibly.
Yeah.
no one notices.
Are you also climbing up?
I'll wait for a signal from Zark.
Yeah, I
So
wanna
you'll be
follow
on the ground?
up. I
Okay,
wanna
cool.
peek.
Okay, so you look around over the top of the walls. You see a few things inside. You see that the red glow is from multiple crates and trays of firestone crystals that are sort of like scattered around from the inside. There are stacks of twisted rubble and crates on the ground floor of the observatory. So like where the door enters into, it's basically just like a big circular floor, and there's sort of like stacks of crates and rubble.
Do I see any firestones like loose through those crates?
So the crates, you can see that some of them are open topped, and there's kind of like firestones like in rows, like they seem to be sort of organized.
Front door seems like a bad idea.
If you can get the telescope out, we can end this very quickly.
That's what I think I'm going to
Because
do.
you have a bomb. I am a bomb.
Yeah. So I will say there's select like red barrels around that have firestone
Standard
crystals in
video
them.
game rules, I got you.
But there's like other rubble which is
non-explosive.
Yeah, non-explosive as well.
yeah.
You know,
But will be shrapnel
but
and something.
I'll specify there are red crates around.
And specifically, there are some right near the door, which is the key detail.
There aren't any near the door. They are on the ground level, but there's none like placed next to the door. If that's what
Okay, it doesn't look like a trap.
No,
So it's not like we
there's no
open
trap.
the door and just die.
Yeah,
Okay, what else do I see?
So that's kind of like on the ground floor. However, you see that there's a sort of like precarious scaffolding that seems to have been set up, which forms like a makeshift 15-foot high mezzanine around the interior circle
And that
of
would be
the.
just slightly below where I am now.
Yeah, that'd be about like a 10-foot drop from where you are. Around the inner walls of the circular room, and you estimate that the room across is probably like 90 feet in diameter, so it's fairly sizable.
Big.
You see a number of thugs, like burnt-eye thugs, wearing the jackets, shifting crates around on the mezzanine, and there's three pushing red barrels of firestone crystals around on the floor, kind of like on trolleys, kind of stacking them. A catwalk extends from the back of
Just
the mezzanine.
arbitrarily moving crates around.
So this is
We've
sort
all
of
been there.
thugs moving red barrels.
Yeah, they have like a patrol cycle
Yeah.
that they just keep doing.
I mean, look, I just can't believe the Bebs would betray us like this.
I don't have a box to hide under, so I can sneak along the catwalk.
And so a catwalk extends from the back of the mezzanine into a central platform on the room. So like think here's the door, here's the back of the mezzanine. It comes into like a central platform here.
Yeah.
And you can see on the central platform there is a warped and melted remains of what once would have been an impressive telescope. It seems to sort of like stand as almost like a monument, kind of like in the central platform now, like burnt and twisted. But you see standing at a workbench an aged half-elven man with wiry white hair
On this like platform.
yeah, on the central platform. He's kind of like got his workstation there, with wiry white hair and a hawkish face and a white lab coat on, as he tinkers with like a long sort of tubular device of metal and glass.
Okay. Looks like repairing the telescope.
Yeah, he seems to be tinkering with it in some capacity. Yeah.
I am still invisible.
You are.
But if I try and jump down onto the catwalk, I imagine that's going to make a lot of noise.
It will make a noise, and they will be able to seek to see if they can detect you.
Can I get from where I am? Does it look difficult to kind of stay up on this, I guess, like rubble wall ridgeline and kind of move around towards the back of the room?
You could try. It'd be slow progress because like it'd be like, what if it's 90-foot diameter? It's like a 280 circumference, so that's like 70.
Someone do pi.
5. It's like from where you are, it's probably like 75 to 90 foot around to get to the back of the.
Yeah, so that's quite a long
way.
Yeah.
I think I will try and probably climb back down.
I feel like letting us
talk.
know.
Yeah, I think
You're only supposed to be scouting.
Yeah. Well, I was going to see if I could.
I'll go in by myself.
I was going to see if I could give you some other signal, but vis-a-vis a large explosion of firestones. But I think giving you this information is useful. So I'm going to now attempt to climb back down.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay. Same DC?
Yeah, I think
Easier or harder?
I'm trying to work that. I think it'd be easier
I think
just
it's
to
easier to
expedite
go
this.
down than up.
I think because you've sort of charted a path. I'll say like you technically know how to go down.
What are you setting it at then?
What did I say last time? 18. I'll say it's 16.
Okay. That's a crit.
That's a crit. Down 10, 20, 20. Okay, cool. And then the last 5 feet, you can just drop to it.
Yeah. Okay, great. So I run back over and I relay that information and I say, okay, so let me tell you, thugs, gangs, never heard of OSHA.
Where is the telescope?
Center of the room on a platform, a catwalk.
That feels
from back room.
dramatic.
Calvinor is in there and it looks like he's attempting to fix the telescope. He looked like he was creating a new version of a section of the telescope. It seemed almost complete, so I'm not sure what his intention is with modifications or just repair, but either way, we probably don't want to let him go through with whatever he was planning.
It's
3 up,
on ground floor.
3 up high, 3 down low. I think I'm going to try and get back up into position to drop down onto the catwalk.
You've probably got about 3-4 minutes.
Yeah, I've got about 3 minutes left, so we'll need a motor. I'm going to say, well, what I could do is I could get in position, and I do have a longbow, so I could try and attempt to create a diversion at the back of the observatory by blowing up some of these firestone crystals, maybe destabilizing them, and that could be a good signal to start an assault.
Not knowing how they're going to react, we could hit one and it will take the entire building down.
Yeah.
Our mission as set is to retrieve the telescope. Whatever happens otherwise is of no consequence.
Also, they have another observatory. I don't think they'll miss this one very
Well,
much.
how about I go back up and try and sneak onto the catwalk? If it all goes to hell, I'll make a racket.
Speaking of
Sounds
everything
good.
going to hell, I do have something for you both, and I'll hand you both a potion of expeditious retreat, just in case.
Nice.
That's very handy. I got a minute left to get into position, so if you've got any other ideas, please feel free to improvise.
Absolutely none. No thoughts.
Yeah, right. Cool. I'm gonna run back up.
Okay.
I think I will probably try and go around the back and try and climb from somewhere closer to because I have the advantage of being able to just sprint around. the back.
Yeah. So it's much easier to move on the ground and around. So if you want to like move up like directly at the back.
Yeah, I'm happy to take a harder climb check to try and get in at the back.
Yeah, so I won't make you make another climb check. I'll just say that it takes a bit longer because it.
I'm expecting my invisibility to run out mid-combat, basically.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll probably shave a bit of the invisibility off.
Please, yeah. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is try and drop down onto the catwalk. Yeah. While still invisible. So that's going to, I assume.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So I'll just make a distinction between like the mezzanine around the ring and then the catwalk is extending into the.
So the mezzanine. I'm trying to drop down on the mezzanine, basically where the catwalk starts extending.
Great. Cool. Excellent.
Basically to cut Calvinor off.
Yeah. Sure. So you have like a couple, like probably two. Actually, no. There's probably one on each side and then one at the back. So there's like a thug almost like right where you want to be, at the very back. But she seems like occupied, kind of like.
Okay. Well, I'm going to try and sneak down.
So give me a stealth check to try and land here quietly.
I would like to use my hero.
Okay.
That I don't like. That's
and
not
we'll
a
play
nice
normal
number.
hero point rules. So re-roll here, and you can take the higher one.
That is fucking.
It's one better.
Pardon me. That is terrible. I rolled a 3 and then I rolled a 4. So that's 11 total.
Cool. So you're carefully climbing up here. You do so well to climb up the scaffolding.
This is where our luck runs out.
The rolls run
I rolled
out.
19s
you
on the
used up
climbing.
all of your karma, and then you kind of like hang off, and then the scaffolding goes, and then you like peel down like a banana skin and just like onto the catwalk, and like the thug next to you just goes like, huh? What was that?
All right.
So immediately you can tell that like everyone in the room just suddenly like turns to look at where you would be.
Where is the closest pile of firestone crystals? I want to make an entrance.
There's probably like 10 feet away from you. There's probably like a bench that has some like geodes actively being.
Okay,
worked
I
on.
want to like immediately go for one of those geodes, and I don't want to chuck it into the room.
Yeah.
I want to chuck it like against like I guess the wall behind where the catwalk is, like up high, to just make it explode in a signaling way without bringing the whole structure down.
Yeah, okay, great. So we'll come back to you guys in 2 seconds. We'll just resolve this. So you run over, heavy boots on the...
Yeah, like I'm fully visible now.
And then you pick up a geode off the table and...
Hurl it.
You hurl it. So you're just aiming for a wall?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. So I won't make you roll an attack. Instead, the geode just like flies and cracks into the side of the building. And there's a moment of just like a incineration ball of fire that emerges from it and a bright, blinding light. I need you to roll 2d6 for me, please.
Just as just like, what was that? And I go, well, jig is up. And I just sprint the other way.
These old buildings are full of mean ghosts.
That is 7 total.
7? Cool. Yeah. So the fire detonates and like some of the structures just starts like I
imagine like a section of the wall falls back outside.
Yeah. And can I please get you to make a reflex save for me,
Okay.
please?
Cool.
You're definitely now visible.
That's an 11.
11? Cool.
It's a dupes.
So
I'm gonna get crushed by a big old wall.
So you are blinded for 1 round as the light emanates around, and it is incredibly bright, and you sort of like are watching to see the effect, and then just like
oh, why didn't I predict that?
And you hear like in like the days, you hear the thugs also go like, I can't see, and immediately like the two of you outside hear this
Time to
racket.
make an entrance.
So kick down that door, baby.
Yeah, that's way better. 722.
22, yeah, you just, and the door is so old.
What's
And
the guy's name? Calvinor.
Calvinor, yeah.
Calvinor!
And the door just like, just slams out in front onto the ground.
Two bent doors just like
About 15 foot into the room. Calvinor, the jig is up. Surrender peacefully or meet your gods.
And I think Konick is just walking by going, I feel like this is a little bit much.
And so you immediately see the situation of like the thugs on the railing kind of like covering their eyes. There's like a glowing patch of fire on the wall.
Postman thug covering his eyes as well.
That thug looks that thug looks really familiar.
Wait, no. They know where I am, but I'm still invisible?
No.
Or does the invisibility affect
I would say it's a
end?
hostile action to throw a bomb. So
the invisibility does drop. Yeah. I wasn't sure how it worked with being perceived.
Yeah,
Just unhostilely throwing a bomb at all.
Cool. So you shout this out to Calvinor, and sort of surprisingly, you see he seems fairly unfazed by the commotion happening around him, and he's just like continuing to work on whatever he's working on. And he goes,
I admire his focus.
and he says, "Now, interesting. Who sent you? Was it the captain? Did he decide that the money wasn't worth it, or
Bribing an officer of the law is an offense punishable by death.
Oh, well,
You say covering your eyes.
I say, like, to the wall.
You mess with a Bovian, you mess with all of us.
Oh, you're working for Marvu.
You know the person whose telescope you stole after sabotaging their lab and bribing several public officials?
Oh, what's this telescope back? Well, unfortunately, I can't let that happen, you see. I've come so close.
You have a lot of money, but not a lot of friends, do you?
I'm monologuing.
Roll intimidate.
No, I'm monologuing. This is my bit.
I'm so sorry.
Now those burns don't heal easily.
I guess you can give him my thanks, though. Without him, I never would have worked out how to focus these energy crystals. That Bovian glasswork sure is something, isn't it? And he holds up like a lens to you, and then kind of like up to the starlight, and you can see like a incredible like refraction of starlight in the lens.
Oh, he's like dead now, isn't he?
It's a real shame. I've always respected Marvu. We are both academics after all, but the difference is that I know something. I know that knowledge
You're in
comes...
over your head?
I'm monologuing!
He's rehearsed
I know
this.
that
Let him
knowledge
finish.
comes from wealth. Wealth comes from power. And I worked this out long ago when I saw the potential in these stones. And he picks up one of the firestone crystals. But my buffoon of a master felt it was a foolish pursuit, an irresponsible cause. Well, I showed her, and now I'll show everyone. I've single-handedly raised this town from the ashes of my master's work. So I should know. Telescopes won't bring this town prosperity. And then he picks up the tube and then finishes screwing a bolt onto it, and the whole thing.
Why did we let him do this?
Words. I was monologuing.
I was trying to get there.
Yeah.
I fell.
We were too busy
How did we let this
insulting.
happen? I fell.
Don't deny me my bit. And he pulls a lever on device and he says, "The telescopes won't bring this town prosperity, but the arms trade will." And you see each of the goons pulls out like a little like laser pistol, and they each load in a firestone. The telescope he's holding, you see like an energy inside whir up, and he's basically now holding this death ray laser cannon, essentially.
Golly.
And he says, "Sorry, friends. I'm afraid you won't get to view the stars tonight, but I will give you a constellation prize.
God,
And then he raises the gun to fire. Can I get everyone to roll initiative?
An astronomy pun. How observant of you.
So we're going to kick off with Anaxi taking the initiative. So you see Calvinor raise this laser at you, and it starts to charge up.
Okay. From where I am,
I love when someone
sling has a range of 50 foot. I am going to shoot a slingshot, shoot this rock at Calvinor then.
Poisoned Goliath stone. Let's do it.
Start. Nat 20.
The Bovian revenge runs deep.
He shouldn't have tried to use glass blowing for his own nefarious purpose. You can insult me, you can insult my family, but the minute you try to use the glass blowing.
All right, so it's 4 plus 3 is 7 times 2 is 14 damage, and he has to make a fortitude save.
That's fair.
25, yeah.
DC 15.
Wow, crit.
So poison does nothing. Cool, that is my first action.
Yeah, so the stone just goes thunk, and so he's like, constellation, bro.
And then slings are unfortunately not reload 0.
Sad.
So I will reload my sling. And is there some firestones close, some of these red barrels close to the closest goons nearest the red barrels?
Don't blow up any of the firestones. It might bring down the building.
So all of the goons on the bottom floor are standing adjacent to a red barrel.
There's a lot of goons and 3 of us.
Yeah, so there's 3 on the floor that are all adjacent to a red barrel. The ones on top are not. On the mezzanine aren't. Cool. Yeah.
Great. So
I will also just say there is ample cover on the ground floor. Okay. So at any point, if you're like, I want to take cover, there will be room.
Yeah, sweet. Instead,
I love it,
cast Flaming Wisp, and 3 little flaming wisps appear and start.
3 little mobile, happy, sentient fuses.
So it's Calvinor's turn. So he's just going to take pot shots at the 2 of you.
But he would have clocked that I was there.
He's clocked that you're there.
Promotion happened.
Yeah.
But he's not paying me any
He's
mind.
focused on now the person that threw the sling.
Yeah.
The person just hit him with a rock.
He says he holds out the laser gun, and it goes, and then this scorching ray of light goes. Cuts along the floor, straight up to where you are. 24 to hit.
Whoa!
Good golly,
Jesus Christ.
Miss Molly.
I mean, that's a hit. That's just a hit.
100% a hit.
4, you take 10 points of fire damage as this laser.
The amount of bullying.
And you hear Calvinor say, "Oopsie, guess I'm a shooting star." And then he...
just for that, I'm going to knock out every single tooth in your head, and I don't care how many tries that takes.
He then takes cover behind the workbench, and you can see him starting to add in an extra firestone and reload the laser. Cool. And then that will be the thug's turn after that.
Oh my god.
The one that was next to you immediately pulls out their little laser pistol, and they go, "I've never used this before," and they kind of hold it.
I've never been hit by one before.
And roll a natural 1,
and I still haven't.
It's gotta.
How much of his arm?
Is it real?
And it just shatters in their hand because it was a faulty pistol. And you immediately see they sort of get fire thrown onto their face. They go, "Ah!" and they crouch down the ground.
Would they still have a hand to gesture with?
Blinded.
It explodes back up like a fireball. No eyebrows.
Yeah, and so they are on fire. She'll try and put the fire out and pat it down, but she's still got fire all over her.
They're a bit preoccupied with the flames.
Yeah. And then the 2 at the mezzanine, seeing this gun explode, they will look at theirs, and then they'll just sort of crouch down behind cover, and each of them are going to move to cover, take cover, and then they're just going to very tentatively hold out as far as they can, take a pot shot at one shot at each of you.
So they're crouched behind crates up on the mezzanine.
Yep. 23 to hit you.
Yeah, that'll hit me.
Cool. So take 1 point of fire damage as it goes. Psst,
Just one?
Yeah.
Cool.
They're little laser beams that come down.
Konick goes, ow.
And the second one to you, T-Money, that is a 20.
That will just meet DC.
Oh no.
Okay, and that's 4 fire damage.
Oh my gosh.
As the laser hits.
I
into the side of
do
you.
have 2 health potions, and I am right next to you if you want them.
The 3 thugs on the ground basically spend their actions moving into cover, and they're going to draw their pistols and load them because they were pushing the crates, so they don't have them drawn.
Cool.
And that'll be their turn. So then, Konick next.
Konick next, sorry,
15.
yeah.
Fantastic. I guess I will pass you a health potion.
In one action, you could put it on the ground.
Yeah, I'll put it on the ground, and then I will run towards whoever is nearest.
Okay, yep. So you can dash. They'll be about 30 feet away from
I
you.
have a speed of exactly 30.
There you go.
Because
Nice.
I am a monk.
Nice. So yeah, you can definitely reach one with a 30-foot dash. I'll say the center one. So I'll say the 3 in the middle are kind of like in a line.
Yeah.
On the ground behind some crates, and so you can run up to the center one.
Fantastic. And then I will flurry of blows because, of course.
Excellent. Yeah.
Natural 20 on the first one.
yes.
And the 2d8, double it. Oh, no, sorry, 2d6 because I haven't taken a stance yet. I just don't have many opinions. So that's 10, 14.
Doubled.
28.
damage.
Yeah, you just clobber him straight.
Runs up,
Yeah.
crack.
You just see he's just like completely just floored and just slides back and slams against
Yes,
some of the,
keep doing that.
Grab his pistol.
on the ground. And the pistol goes like scattering along the ground on the
Cool.
side. Yeah.
And then, I'm assuming the second one isn't in my range. Or
Yeah, no, unfortunately.
fair enough. Yep.
Go for the pistol.
I don't have any actions left.
Yeah, that's it. Then it'll be Zark.
Is it 2 strikes in one for the monk?
It's
thing?
2 strikes in
right.
one.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you said the observatory was 90 feet across.
Correct.
So half of that, the catwalk length would be 45 feet.
correct. Yeah.
Cool. So I would like to spend. And how far am I from the front of the catwalk?
I'll say you only moved 10 feet to pick up the stone, and you dropped right where it was. So I'll say you're about 10 feet away from the start of the catwalk.
So that'd be 55 total.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you wanted to make it to the very center of the room.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 2 actions moving. So it's 50 foot of movement.
Okay.
So I will be 5 feet short of him. But Chainblade, I'm going to throw my Chainblade at him.
Okay. The last second.
Yeah, with my last action, and I'm just going to hurl.
You would need to draw it though, because you climb down and
I wouldn't
through
have had it in my hand.
the
Okay, well, I'm going to pick my Chainblades out then with my last
So
action.
yeah, you're just standing 5 feet away from him as he's kind of like reloading the laser weapon. Great, and then that takes us back to Anaxi. So you have 3 little wisp fires blowing around your head, but you've also just been hit by a couple of lasers.
Old mate's hiding, right?
He's taken cover, so you can still see his shape, but he'll just be slightly protected.
2?
-2, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's standard.
And there's 2 more thugs on the bottom floor.
There's 2 more on the bottom floor hiding behind crates, so they've also taken cover.
I'm going to aim for Calvinor. My last action was to cast a spell, so I'm going to enter my Arcane Cascade stance for my first action.
Ooh, nice.
I am then going to use my Geode Spell Strike. Geode Spell Strike is a 4th level class feat for the
Sinclair's original.
Sinclair's
original.
Goliath Stone. And this allows me to I can choose either acid, cold, electricity, or fire. I'm going to choose fire because I just cast that anyway. And it's going to deal splash damage. There's no one around him, so that's not going to matter. But it deals splash damage to 2 plus the extra. I just want to do it because it's fun.
Yeah.
And I am going to cast Produce Flame on that one as well. That'll be I'm going to use my hero point because I take the better one, right?
Yeah, we're saying you'll take the better one.
I'm going to take the 19, which will be 30, 28 with the -2 from cover. Please crit.
It's not a crit, unfortunately.
Pretty
Waste of hero
please,
point.
Gianni. Could we quit?
That's all right. And then he's going to take 2d6. Plus 3 is 10 damage.
Woo!
Plus 2d4. 4 plus 7 fire damage. And then one of the wisps is going to fly off from around my head and impact him for an extra 4 damage.
Holy shit. So that's 31 and then an extra 4.
10,
Yeah, I got it.
7, and 4 is 21 damage total.
I got it. Yeah.
And that will be...
Holy dooly. So what does the wisp... So how come the wisp activated?
When you make a successful strike, the wisp flies at your target and deals 1d4 damage.
Sick. Love that.
And now that I'm in Arcane Cascade, just for fun information, the way the Goliath Stone works is while you're in Arcane Cascade, and at the start of each turn while you're in it, if you take no actions with the move trait, I can increase the range increment on simple slings I wield by 10 feet. And I also have resistance 1 to all damage.
So you're basically turning yourself into a support turret.
Yeah.
Nice. Very, very cool.
That's me.
Okay, cool.
Amazing.
So
Incredible.
Calvinor's turn. So he sees you like charging down the gangplank. He sees you coming, and he will just hold the cannon out.
I look at the narrow catwalk one and go, well, I don't think about this.
And he says, this... I'm afraid this next attack will be a little out of scope. And he...
I roll my eyes and prepare to be incinerated.
You see he like loads in 3 fire crystals into the cannon, and you see it just start to glow brighter and brighter and brighter, and he is going to fire an overload shot. And so Calvinor overcharges his death laser. This is a 3-action activity.
His what?
His death laser. The weapon is called a death laser. Thanks, Matt. Loading 3 pieces of ammo into it. And then he fires the death laser in a 30-foot line. So he just goes, and this light just goes around you.
Cool.
I need you to please make a reflex save.
Okay, 2 questions.
Yeah.
First of all, is this a magical effect?
It is not a magical effect.
It is not magical explicitly?
No, it is not
technology.
magical explicitly. I'm sorry.
Reflex.
Oh!
1. I'm dead. Please incinerate my face.
Put in the TBK and TBK.
Yes. I don't like how happy Gianni is in this.
Okay, you're going to take...
I'm giving that so much.
You're going to take 40 points of fire damage.
Oh my god.
Is that the crit fail damage?
That's the crit fail damage.
Okay, good.
Because it was 20. It's 46 plus 6 fire damage in a line. So you just get completely incinerated.
Oh god.
That's physically disgusting.
Yo, I'm the tank. If you lose me...
I thought we left the barbecue house.
But that is all of his actions. That's 3-action shot to do that. Sorry, I should also mention Calvinor takes 2 persistent fire damage as the gun casts fire over him as well. The thug will charge up from behind you at the mezzanine. 12?
No.
Cool. So yeah, she charges up behind you, but you see her coming, and you manage to step to the side and kind of just like deflect her blow. Then the 2 at the side will continue firing pot shots at the so they'll need to reload once, fire at you, Liz. So that is not very good. 13 won't hit.
Will not.
Okay, and then they'll reload. The one on the right side will reload, fire at you for a 17. No. And then they'll reload again. And then the 2 on the ground will basically be looking straight at you. And so one of them is going to charge up to you to try and sock you with their fist. So that's gonna be a 14.
This didn't work for your friends. I don't think it's going to work for you either.
Shut up, I'm a goon! And they're just swinging.
There's more to life than goonery. You could take up glass blowing.
Oh my god.
No.
So many opportunities.
It's more like ass blowing.
I'll blow your ass.
We can't
Clip that.
say
For the love of God, all that is good and holy in this one, clip that.
please.
And then the next one will just fire a laser shot at you for... These guys suck. They are level 0. 18 to hit. No.
It just pings off of...
Yeah. So they're stormtroopers. They're like shooting lasers at you, and they're just like...
it's like, it's hitting me. It's just bound. It's reflecting off.
Calvinor's making up for it, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes,
that'll be Konick.
Cool. Yeah, I will. Could I use my acrobatics to get up there?
It's athletics.
It's technically athletics to climb.
Athletics to climb. Sorry.
Is it climbing or jumping? Like, is there
Jumping is also athletics.
Oh, okay.
This is ridiculous. No, that's fine. I mean,
Acrobatics is more like balancing and
of course. Yeah. I was just hoping I could backflip my way through real nice and cool. That's valid.
The age-old problem of I want to climb.
How would moving and then trying to climb up 15 feet work? In this
so it's a stride to move up to the wall, and then you have to do
Successive.
2 or 3 climb actions depending on how well you do to climb up.
Cool.
Please do get up here, though.
Yeah, I will. Should I take care of the 2 down here?
They are
You're going to
next to
be.
you.
Yeah, I think I'll take a flurry of blows for my first action, and I'll just pop each
Beat
of
that
them.
guy up.
And then
Yeah.
run over
Move
and start climbing.
climbing.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
cool. No, that's a good idea.
Wow, not good. Okay, so that's first one is a dirty 20.
Hits.
And
So
the
roll your damage for that one.
Of course. D6s.
Wow, min dice.
2 ones, so that's 6 damage. And the second one
Minus
is just a 15 to hit.
15 to hit is not a hit. I'm
That's
afraid.
what I thought. That's okay.
Hey, everyone gets.
Everyone gets.
You've had enough good rolls this session.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I've had.
Just saying everyone gets one. That is true for you right now.
Yeah, I like honestly. Overdue. Yeah, and I guess I'll use the rest of my turn to run over and start climbing up.
Yep, cool. So yeah, you'll strike once, move to the base of the central platform, and then make an athletics check to start climbing up the
Fantastic.
side.
Do we?
DC, what did I say? 18.
Natural 20.
Yes.
So 10 feet to start scrambling up.
2 more successes or 1 more crit success to get up.
Cool.
It's only 15 feet. So
Okay.
yeah, it's
You only
only,
need
it's
one
only
more
5 foot to
success
the
next
top.
turn, and then you can get up and do your thing.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Very nice.
You, Zark?
All right, cool. I'm going to look at Calvinor with my twin Chamberlains. Wink, then blink. Appear behind him. Because
Say nothing personal, kid.
and like with both my letter opener swords raised, I'm just gonna go special delivery and just slice him from behind.
Oh no, I've been
my
outpunched.
You got double slice?
Yeah, I got double slice. So I'm gonna use my double slice. So that is going to be.
Oh wait, flat DC 5 check. Or
Oh yeah, I gotta do my my blink check.
Yes.
Flat DC 5. Oh no.
Don't.
Prone.
No! No!
Wait, no, surely. Surely
Calvinor
you
wins
add
again!
something to that. Surely.
No, it doesn't matter. It's flat check.
Oh, dear God.
You can still do your double slice while prone.
Yeah, just on the ground
I don't
going for
have
the
to get up.
ankles.
It's a neg 2 to your attack.
Just go for his
It
ankles.
happens to me all the time.
That was such a cool moment. And then
Okay,
you fell
all right. I'm going to go. I teleport behind him, and I
Special loop.
no. I land like I appear prone. I think the way it
So just face down in the dirt.
Your axis of appearance is just
on a
like
failure, you end your teleport prone. Like I reappear on the ground. Like. Oh, fuck. So actually, what happens is I look up from underneath him, like at his face, and it's like special delivery. Slice.
Right for the groin.
oh, right in the thighs.
And I will use my double slice. So my second attack takes a -2 because these are, while they are twin, they are not agile.
So you'll take a neg 2 on the first one and
And
an
a
extra neg 2 on the second one as well.
Yeah, so it'll be -2, then -4. What's my...
But your multiple attack doesn't increase until after, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So that'll be it. So the first one is going to be a 26.
26 hits.
Okay. And then the second one is only like 11 flat. So
11 won't.
So 11 won't hit. Cool. So I still hit once.
Yeah.
And my blink recharges, which is nice. 9 damage.
That's how I imagine it is.
9
You blink
damage?
and then you blink back in, but with your legs like too low, and then you just sort of ragdoll.
Just for positioning, so we're clear, I am on the ground. I'm prone behind him relative to where I was and where Thug is.
Okay, so you probably had to be next to him technically because he was like back against the
Oh, he was under the
because
crate.
he took
Okay, yeah, I'm next to
so
him. I'm next to him.
turned
then.
around.
so
Yeah,
there
next
isn't
to him.
really a behind him.
Okay, yeah, I'm next to him then.
Cool.
Yeah, that's fine. That's my turn.
Yep, great, love that.
I don't, but sure.
So then Anaxi, you were
I'm
back
gonna
to
reload my sling, and then I'm gonna cast Mind Games on Old Mate.
a will save.
Yeah.
You could roll in that one.
Yeah.
That one.
Ooh,
Oh.
18. No, sorry.
Say
Yeah,
less.
18.
Oh, are you joking me?
No, he's plus 15 to will.
Oh gosh.
Plus 15 to will, sure.
Yeah, that succeeds. It's unaffected, but I can continue to sustain that next turn.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's my turn.
All right, so Calvinor's turn. So he cannot use his overload ability again.
And I'm behind a wall.
He'll probably just try and stalk you because like you've appeared right next to him.
So he's not doing anything with his gun.
not immediately.
Okay.
He's doing a melee.
Yeah, he like you appear next to him. I think he's just going
he's
to try
doing an
and
unarmed
elbow-
strike.
Yeah, just a gauntlet punch. which is 28.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh my gosh.
With an unarmed strike?
It's like a
he's got a gauntlet.
Yeah.
I mean,
Four bludgeoning damage.
You should have
as
straight up
you get
break
stopped.
rules.
I am very hurt.
Okay.
No.
And then
You
he
still have one of those healing
I
potions
do,
on you.
yeah, I
thank
do.
God.
and then he's gonna step away, and then he is probably just gonna reload. He just has to
Okay,
reload.
well, that's a manipulate action, so I am going to get an attack of opportunity.
Do you have reach?
I have.
Is it reach?
Yeah, they are reach weapons.
Is it range or reach?
It says reach tethered.
It's reach.
Great. Yeah,
Reach
then you
and
can.
throw.
Okay, so you can do an attack of opportunity.
And that is 29.
-2.
Minus
He's still prone.
2. Yeah,
27.
And I think you only disrupt it if it's a critical hit. Is that right? For a fighter?
Yes, if the trigger was an attack action and it's a critical hit, I disrupt. So
Yeah.
it still
Okay.
gets
Cool.
to
So he
reload.
still gets to reload, but you deal damage to him. So roll your damage.
That is 8 plus 3, 11.
He like takes a strike and he's like, "Ow!" And he's like more hastily tries to get the thing, the Firestone crystal back in the scope so he can fire again at you.
Cool.
Cool. So then the thugs, so the one that was still trying to hit you will take another swing at you. You moved, didn't you? So
Yeah, I blinked 15
they'll need
feet,
to,
so.
but you are
Oh,
prone.
no, hang on. It was 10 more feet. Yeah, and I am prone still.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So yeah, they'll move and then they will strike at you. 18.
Nope.
Nope.
-2?
-2 because
No.
you're prone.
No,
Cool.
no, it's 19 total.
Great. And then they'll take another swing at you with their fist. It's agile, so that's only -4. Fist, so that's only +4, so that's 13 total.
Yeah, no, so it's yeah.
Yep.
Sorry. Yeah, lucky because that definitely would have killed me.
Yeah.
I'm again an inch from death, everyone.
You'll be fine.
Hello,
Cool.
darkness, my old friend.
You're fine.
See, I really, really wish I'd taken Key Rush.
The title of the show is TPK.
Yeah.
So the two that were that are below you,
Yep.
they start to run up to the base of the base of the structure, and they start to climb up after you. So I'm not going to roll for each of their actions. I'll just say they'll be slow. So they'll just move 5 feet each round, and then the ones on either side will still keep shooting at you, Tyler. So
Sorry, I'm confused. Which ones are chasing him? The one from the ground
the
floor?
ones on the ground floor.
And the two up the top.
The two, sorry, yeah, the two up there,
Still pot
on the
shotters.
wings are still just
Pew pew.
stormtroopering at you. So they reload
love
last turn, so they'll get
stormtroopering.
2 shots this turn. So that's 12 on the first one. Definitely won't. That's all right. That's 5, 12. That's 18.
No.
And then the
The other
one,
guy.
13, 19.
No.
Oof. No, definitely won't. So yeah, they just.
Wow, they really are stormtroopering up.
Yeah, so bad at
Yeah,
this.
I want to reiterate. There are 6 of them because they're level 0. And,
That's true.
Yeah.
I did
Yep.
annihilate one with one.
Yeah, and I expected a lot of them to disappear with the
In
red barrels.
puffs of smoke. Yeah.
I didn't expect there to still be this many left.
We really have not leveraged those red
yeah,
barrels. I think I just honestly forgot they were there.
Yeah, you're on top of this. Okay, so then we're up to Konick.
Fantastic. I will continue to climb.
Yep. Okay, so just one more climb action to get to the top.
Just need a success.
Another natural 20.
I will let you vault over the top of the and land with your feet firmly planted onto the ground wherever you want to be.
Fantastic. I'll vault up on the other side of Calvinor.
Yeah, great.
Punch him.
Actually, I'm going to grapple him.
Oh, good choice. Cool. So that's an athletics check to do that.
Yeah, you want to grapple restrain him in some way.
Yes. That's a 15 plus 6, so that's a 21 to grapple.
21. Just get it.
And then punch him repeatedly.
And yes, with my third action, I'm going to hit him.
He's also flat-footed because you're threatening him. So that
Fantastic.
makes
Yeah, because reach. Yeah.
He's flat-footed because he's grappled.
well now he is. Yeah.
That's I'm going to guess a 17 doesn't do it.
17 will not, unfortunately. And
That's fine.
yes, grapples also take the
Oh, of course, in which case it would be a 12.
So unfortunately, but you managed to restrain and Zark.
Okay, stand up. Move over to Konick, Calvinor, and Konick, and I'm going to attempt to disarm.
And I will teamwork, twist the arm.
We are using
Teamwork? What does that mean,
our
friends?
teamwork feats.
Ba-da-ba.
Sinclair's.
Always Sinclair's
original.
No better taste.
So there are some new feats as part of the Sinclair's playtest that we found. They are teamwork feats, so they have a standard effect that you can use just as a single on your own.
Yeah.
That give you a bonus. Twist the arm is the one that Liz and I have both taken. But they also have a secondary teamwork benefit. So when both of you have the feat and use the conditional, the conditional the trigger, becomes active, there is an additional benefit that you get. So in this case, we're both using Twist the Arm. And so when an ally attempts to disarm a creature you have grabbed or restrained, you may aid as though you have made suitable preparations. So in this case, because I'm making a disarm check and Konick has grappled Calvinor, they may attempt to aid as though they had made preparations. However, the teamwork benefit, because we both have the feat, is that when Konick successfully aids, in place of the normal bonus, they can apply an additional super benefit, which is that if I roll a success, it becomes a critical success, and if I roll a critical success, they can choose what basically happens after the disarm check critically succeeds. So we can kick the disarmed item up to 10 feet in a direction, pick it up, or release the creature to pick the item
Cool.
up.
So order of operations, I'll get you to make an
aid, of course,
athletics check to aid in this, and you want to beat 20.
Natural dang 20.
That's a success. +2 on the aid.
Yeah. So incredible teamwork means that you are going to get an excellent aid bonus. So that's a +2.
So my athletics, it's an athletics check to disarm?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, well, that was a 6, but I have +12 athletics. That's an 18. +2 is a dirty 20.
Against reflex
Ooh,
DC.
and this guy might not be
What's their
very...
reflex DC?
Cool. So his reflex is 22.
No. Okay, so that's a failure.
So
Sad.
close.
Very sad. Do you have a hero point?
I do have
Why do you have no
an
more
hero
action?
point.
You can gift your hero point to that because you're team working.
Of course.
The two of you working together. You're
it.
being heroic.
I love it.
It's
All right,
yeah, teamwork
It's
together.
way more
yeah.
fun.
It was my third action because I stood up and moved.
Yeah. Just don't fuck it up.
Do. Hey!
Is that better?
That is so much better. That is a 16 + 12
yeah,
+2.
fucking
No,
easy.
that's so its total is 28.
28, which will be a success.
Cool, which is a critical success.
Success because of the teamwork.
Which means that we...
Gives the
Yeah. So I get a critical success.
you managed to knock the laser gun out of his hands.
So
into
that's
the
the end of my turn, but the laser gun is now on the floor.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you're
And he's still grappled.
bumping it up instead
Up,
of doing
move,
extra.
get a crit.
Yeah.
It's on the ground.
Yeah.
So I think he goes before any of us, so he'll probably just pick it back up. But
Yeah. but
he's still
that's still an
grappled.
action gone.
He's still
Yeah.
grappled.
Yeah.
he's still grappled
It's also
too.
a manipulate action.
And my reaction has recharged. Damn.
Yeah.
Teamwork benefits are really good. If you work teamwork's great, everybody.
Teamwork is great.
Friendship
Also,
and the
it
magic of
feels
teamwork.
really cool to have something that we would normally do as flavor be backed by mechanics, which I think is
for a
really
monk and a
dope.
fighter, it was a really nice simpatico.
All right, Anaxi.
Great. I'm going to recharge my spell strike,
Great.
which I believe I can do once, as far as I know. Anyway, Magus
I'll
is
trust you.
confusing.
Yeah.
And then I'm charged. I am going to use Geode Spell Strike again
Hell yeah.
on the two people climbing up
Yeah,
the ladder,
nice.
and I'm going to use Electric Arc.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make that spell strike. That's going to be, I'm sure it's going to hit because it's +11, so 24.
24 will definitely be a hit.
Great.
It is not a crit though. Oh, they are flat-footed because they're climbing, so that is a crit. Yeah.
The rock becomes electrified, and I let it swing. It thuds directly into the back of one of the people climbing. He's going to take
Yum.
26 damage.
Sorry,
Definitely.
thuds into or
Yeah.
passes through?
Passes through that guy. He's also going to take 3, 4, 5 electric damage.
Yep.
And the guy next to him is going to take 6, 7 electric damage, and then Geode Spell Strike's going to pop off, which is flat damage equal to 2 plus the extra damage from Arcane Cascade, which I believe is just 2. So he's going to take 4. So he takes 11 points of electric damage.
So the first guy dies, the second guy gets 11 points of damage.
So I'll say so Liz already damaged the one, so I'll say that the one that you hit originally will be the non-damaged one,
Right.
and they just get completely just like you see them like electric they do like the X-ray thing and fall off, and then it runs through the metal scaffolding into the other one as they're climbing up, and then you see them get fried, and then they just
Once
drop
again.
off and
Oh, no.
they both
They
Wilhelm
just-
scream down to the ground.
Ow.
A timely reminder of the dangers of electricity.
Once again, these
Yeah.
thugs Zog's not in good terms with Osho.
Yeah. And
think
that's you.
Queensland Rail
Excellent.
would be so proud.
Which means it's Calvinor's turn. So Calvinor's being like restrained by you currently. So yeah, he has to break free of your grapple before he can pick up the gun.
Yes.
Oh, teamwork.
It's finally
so good.
happening.
Teamwork.
This good non-damage roll based combat utility is finally happening.
All right, so he's going to have to try and
once.
break free. So he will make an athletics check. That's 27.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that'll unfortunately do
It's
it.
still an action to break free.
Yeah, of course.
As he goes, get off me, I cannot be contained. And then reaches down to pick up the weapon.
Attack of opportunity.
Opportunity.
Just remembering a thing
Baby,
from earlier.
that is a 27 to hit.
Ooh,
The 27 to hit is a hit.
Okay. That's going to be 7 plus 4, 11 damage.
11 damage.
So he takes 11 damage as I smack him as he goes to pick the gun up.
So with his last action, I think he is going to take a shot.
Of course he's
at
going
you
to,
again.
yeah.
of course.
So he will
Please
fire,
fail.
but he will take a penalty because he did have to escape.
So,
as well.
multi-attack.
Yep.
So it's a neg 5.
So that's 5. That's only 14.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm still up.
Well, yeah. And so you're like grabbling him, and he's like, just like fires, and like
All of this is so clutch.
the roof
flying
starts
past
to.
just incinerates.
The laser beam like cuts through a wall, and you start to see like some of like the steel scaffolding.
Yeah. Just
there is so much collateral damage.
Yeah.
whoa, goosh, perfectly
Yeah.
cooked goose.
I'll say one of the bits of scaffolding falls on a red barrel, and it just lets out this blinding.
Yeah.
I won't make you make a
of course,
reflex save, but like yeah, just throws
it's
out
cinematic
fire
as
and light.
Yeah.
Cool. And then we are at the thugs. So there's one still next to you. Just swing.
thug. Honestly, I'm kind of rooting for them.
That's
just-
old mate who was chasing me. Is
Yeah.
now up
So
in
she's still there, completely.
She is so brave.
She's just trying her best. That's only a 2.
Against which one of us, Konick or me?
Against you.
Against me, still, yeah.
Yeah. So that's 10 to hit.
Nope.
No. So the third one's an natural 20.
So we'll still
So
hit.
it will still hit. It's just
Yeah, goon.
Hail Mary. Go goon.
Goon.
What's the damage?
4 damage. 4 bludgeoning
I'm
damage.
still up. Oh, I'm so close to death.
You're staring down Calvinor and just get whacked in the
Stormtroopers. Oh. They only get one shot this turn, but that is a 24 to
That
hit
will
you.
hit.
Fire damage as a laser beam comes and hits you for 5 damage.
You get
Four.
a 5
Four
pew damage.
damage.
4 pew damage.
The second one explodes with a natural 1. And they fall from the rafters.
I'm genuinely starting to feel bad for these guys.
Yeah, these guys.
Like, they're just getting minced
Yeah.
by
I
themselves.
turned to you as a fraction. I'm just like, they clearly don't have a union.
No.
And that is the thug's turn. So Konick, it is all you, baby. You are
Alrighty.
standing behind Calvinor.
Do you have time to
cool.
drop a healing?
You see
gonna-
him reach into his pouch to go to reload for the next shot.
I'm gonna, I'll
You
use
gotta
one
grapple
action
him.
to
Yeah.
drop
Yeah.
a potion to the floor for you, and I'll grapple him again.
Yeah.
That's a 10. I don't think that'll do.
10, no. I'm afraid
Okay,
not.
so now you can either try and grapple him again, or you can use your multi-attack penalty to try and at least do some damage.
I'm gonna flurry of blows, multi-attack penalty.
Well,
The first one, definite miss. Second one's a natural 20. That would be a 31, take 8.
23.
Yeah, so it'll be a success.
Yeah, cool.
you still do some damage.
I still do some damage. That's a lot better
not
than
bad.
the last time I tried to hit him. That's a 12.
12 damage total.
Yes.
He is looking incredibly battered. Like he is teetering on the edge of this platform and this railing as like you've just been pummeling from either side.
Yes, you might want to like grab that potion and get away.
Yeah.
And Zark, that is your turn.
So I will hit with my dual strike for my chain blades.
Yep.
So what we got here? The first one is a 21.
That is a hit.
Okay, cool. That's a 2. So it's 11 damage for the first one.
11. Yep.
And so the second one is a 9 plus 11 is 20.
He is flanked currently, so that will be a hit.
That will be a hit? Okay. And that's going to be 10 damage second time. So that's 22 total after all is said and done.
Ooh.
I will try and demoralize.
Been beating him up
Yeah, so-
incessantly.
Yeah.
It's a shame you turned that telescope into a gun, because otherwise you should have seen your death was written in the stars. That's a 4. Nah, I get what I pay
Yeah.
for. Yeah.
That was too funny.
11.
Okay.
11.
No way.
Yeah,
I'll just tell you, Calvinor is standing there like
An inch from death.
Absolute
I am
brink.
going to
Clear shot.
load the geode into my sling
All right,
and launch it directly at the bottom of the platform.
Nice.
And I'm going to shout, brace yourselves.
I mean, I'll be fine. I've got 44 hit points.
should have grabbed that healing potion.
Oh, it's really bad. It's a 14.
Heroes and bullets.
14 to hit the stationary
You're just hitting the structure.
underside
Yeah,
of the
it's a
structure.
fucking giant target. Yeah,
I think the thing is you don't necessarily get to pick exactly who it explodes underneath.
Yeah.
And it will hit all of us.
I'm aiming for directly you guys.
Yeah. Oh, no, I figured.
That's fine.
So
I'll live.
14. You say 14? Yeah. So 14 is enough to hit it. It's stationary. It'll hit the side of the scaffolding. The meager scaffolding that they've been putting up to support it will just like crack as this deafening, blinding light emanates from it, and fire starts to go up the side of the side. I'll say you don't need to make a reflex save because it's hit the side of the platform and not hit like the top of it. But the whole thing starts to.
I got one round.
Yeah, it's game over time.
Get that telescope.
Get the telescope.
Some goons.
I'm going
left.
to pick up that health potion that's on the ground.
Yeah, just take a swig.
That has just been sitting politely next
Well,
to
you're
you.
going to have it in your hand.
I'm holding it.
Calvinor is going to take a look at the two of you as the thing's starting to collapse, and he says, "I've waited so long for this. You know what you've ruined? You've ruined everything. We could have been rich. I was trying to provide.
But then you'd still have no friends.
My feelings." And he dies from getting burnt. No. He sees your weapons at the ready. He sees you there
He's
with like
backed
your
into a
fist
corner. He's
ready to go.
The magma lines are starting to glow. Like she's ready. I haven't erupted this fight. She's ready.
And he's about to run, and then he stops, and he looks at the telescope, and he holds it up in front of him, and like almost as like a dare for you to try and to hit
Go near him, yeah.
And then he holds it up in the air,
Hey,
and then he just starts to
do
walk.
Don't do anything stupid now.
And so he is going to walk unless you stop him. He'll walk slowly, so he'll move like 20 feet, let's say, down the catwalk.
I have nothing I can do
as the
until
whole thing
my
starts
turn.
to tilt and shake.
Are we still in combat order? Or?
You're still in combat order, yeah.
Sure
But
thing.
that'll be his turn.
Who goes next?
The thugs will also back off, like seeing that he's trying to like.
You will get to go next.
So it's Konick's turn.
Cool.
I'm not going to hit him. I'm not going to use my reaction.
Oh yeah, I will
Until
hold
after
my
me.
turn.
You're gonna
until
delay?
after.
Cool.
Because I
So,
have something I want to follow up.
it is your
that
turn,
with.
Yeah, so I am going to move up and spend a move action, just be real gentle, be like, okay, don't do anything stupid now. Okay? We all want to get out of here alive, and your ticket out of here is to give us that telescope. You have one chance. I think the roll's going to go better if I just teleport behind him and try and grab the telescope
Okay.
to grapple him. Yeah. So I will
Sure,
do
if
that.
that's what you're going to do, do
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
God, T.
That one.
I know, plus
Nat
12,
one.
and I rolled a nat 1.
Great. You teleport,
wait, that's
and
the
you
flat check.
you
That's the
dive
that's
onto the ground
the
as you
flat check,
appear
yeah.
prone onto the ground next to him as you're sort of like trying to give this eloquent request.
Can I
Grab his
from the ground?
goddamn ankles.
There are no rules against
You can.
Grab his
I'll take it.
ankles.
It'll just be. I'll say it's a -2. Yeah, I
Okay.
think probably the same penalty.
That is a 29 to grapple.
27 with the
just
minus
grab
2.
him
around the legs.
Yeah, you just
29.
You just grab his
29.
legs and like you see him like whoa, and
You're not leaving here
and
until we get to that telescope.
cool. So here's now.
Postman never fails a delivery.
He's now grabbed.
Yep, and I will make my approach and twist the arm.
Twist the arm, twist the arm, twist the arm.
Here we go. So that's
Teamwork,
athletics
teamwork,
again.
teamwork. Yes, you were going to roll your athletics check?
Yep, that's a 16.
Okay, so what is that?
16 total.
Yeah,
To grapple.
to grapple.
To disarm, sorry.
disarm?
To disarm.
That is not.
That's
enough.
a failure.
Yeah.
Okay, that doesn't
That
upgrade.
does
I
not.
don't- you don't
No,
get anything.
unfortunately.
Oh, I may aid as though I've made suitable preparations to help. Sorry, I got to aid you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Can I? Is that going to make the difference?
Is a +2 going to work?
Against.
the
It's against
disarm.
reflex, isn't it?
Yeah.
No,
it won't.
yeah, that
Shit.
doesn't matter.
Cool. I guess
yeah.
plan B.
You could try again.
I could try again. And then I've still got.
You just got a not crit fail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god.
It's a neg 5.
It's hot and I'm nervous.
Move through. Let's go.
All right, here we go.
It's a neg 5. What'd you get?
11. So that's still a fail.
No, but what is that now?
11 total.
No, 17 total.
Did you take your neg 5 for your multi-attack?
Yeah, it becomes 12.
12. That is a critical failure.
Yeah, that's what I was
Which is
afraid.
exactly what we were afraid of.
So you're like trying to reach it, and it says, "You want this? Reach for the stars!" And he tosses.
He is throwing it a manipulate action.
Great, he throws it. He has to throw it. Make a reflex to attack of opportunity.
I can interrupt the action if I critically succeed.
Please.
That is
What?
it's a 9 plus 11 is 20.
I feel like we need to have a
Total
nice
20,
long
that's just a
conversation with
success.
that.
Okay, but I will kill him. But he's going to still throw the telescope.
Yep.
So that's 10 damage.
Yep, the blade comes and stabs straight into him as he releases the telescope into the air. But the telescope is flying.
That's a
up
better
into
plan
the
than
air.
what I was going to do, because I was going to grapple him in a
And
round.
you see it go as the
was gonna
platform
explode.
collapses over. It goes over your head, Anaxi.
I've run
It is
and
coming.
grab
It is coming towards you on the ground.
Do it. Oh, this is so
I will give you one reflex save. One reflex save.
No.
Reflex is my best save.
You need to get for the level. It is a DC 19.
You need
Not too bad.
an 8 or above.
8 or above.
Let's see that bean footage.
I have an 11, so I needed 8 or above.
That hurts so much.
Surely I've got something in here.
I'm running for it full pelt as it impacts the ground.
Yeah. And for a moment, everything is just white as a blinding light fills the room. The three of you wake up. You are all lying in beds. You are completely covered in scorch marks
comedic bandages.
and bandages like all around you. Some of you got like braces tied up.
I turned to Anaxi. I'm like, come here often.
It's quiet. It's peaceful. It's morning. There's some birds twittering outside, and you can hear some movement in another room. But you recognize that you are in a bedroom in Marvu's house.
Does Mabu come in?
Well, we're alive. That's something, I suppose.
That bastard made a liar out of me.
I'm going to go over to my hat and I'm going to rip my badge off it and I'm going to put it in the bag and I'll be like, I broke the code.
You didn't move?
I reach over.
I
I reach over and grab my hat from within my like comical suspension bandage and rip the.
I got like no hair left.
Not fit to wear the badge.
Naked.
Not fit to wear. And then instead of throwing it, I just gingerly put it in my satchel.
Hearing you start to talk and move around, Marvu comes into the room. He has like a tray of teacups, and he like goes, "Oh goodness, you're all awake. I was worried you would be out for a little bit longer, but you must be
How long
quite
has it been?
strong."
We don't deserve this kindness.
Well, it's you've been out for about 6 or 7 hours now.
That's pretty good, all things considered.
Yes,
Could have been days.
Yes, but you definitely took a beating after the explosion up at the observatory. Some of the other Burnt Eye boys helped to carry you out of there. I believe you gave them a good beating.
Oh, yeah. They're good. They're good boys.
In the grill, but they seems like they were willing to help.
It was mostly a lack of character in their leadership, I'd say.
They're all going to jail.
They are. They do. They do
Yes,
still
absolutely.
have to. They
They-
still
like,
have to
there's
face
some
trial.
kind
They
of
will face the
consequence.
Crown's justice as.
But I'm so grateful that all of you are alive and well. After seeing that, I was very concerned.
I made you a promise, Mabu, that I'd get your telescope back, and I didn't manage to do that, and I am sorry.
We didn't even die trying, so there's not even that going for us.
Yeah. At least I can cross off crushed by a building from my bingo.
Whatever you're into.
He kind of like nods sadly, and he like goes out and then brings back in this kind of like charred, melted,
Crushed.
like
Oh,
Mostly
no.
just like a wad of copper.
yeah.
Oh.
And he goes, "Could be a nice art piece, I suppose."
Certainly has some history.
Is there any chance you could build another with time?
With time, yes. Fortunately, I have been allowed access to some extra resources now that Calvinor has been turned in. The new captain of the guard coming in has decided that the rest of the investment that Calvinor had promised to me will be upheld. So, in time, I will be able to make it again.
The main thing, I think, though, is that it's not being used to turn them into fanciful laser weapons of just catastrophically bad.
It nearly killed Zark,
if you will.
Killer scope.
Both incredibly destructive and extremely... Yes, that was wonderful, sorry. Incredibly destructive and extremely poorly designed. Like, I cannot imagine the havoc they'd have caused.
Can't believe you worked with that guy.
I know.
Also,
ridiculous.
yes, that just a hilariously bad startup culture from start to finish. Please avoid anyone like that in the future.
I will. Thank you for your advice. But yes, unfortunately the telescope is lost, but, at least we have all survived and can learn from this. And if I've learnt anything, it's that the darkest nights bring with them the best view of the stars. And he pulls out a little sticker sheet and gives you each a gold star.
Stickers! Yay!
Zark weeps openly.
Oh yeah, Konick is actively crying.
Yeah. And
then right as we pull out of the room, you just hear this thump, and then
and that is where we'll leave the session. Yay! Thank you so much to Sinclair's Library and Tabletop Obscure for giving us all these materials to work with.
It's
it was
so much fun. Please go check it out.
Please go check out the Kickstarter on BackerKit. I think you can still order it, maybe, I don't know. But still stay up to date with all the information that's coming through. Check out the playtest. Thank you so much for watching and hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next time.
Bye.